Do you want to improve your Sudoku solving method? I'll reveal to you the optimal order of solving Sudoku puzzles and how to quickly be able to find the main strategy needed to solve this green cell. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. Where can a 1 go here in block 6? This one cutting across row 4, and this one in column 9, and a 1 in column 8. There's only one place for a 1. We can mark it right there. Greetings, friend. I'm continuing my best of 2024 series with this gem of a puzzle by Rock Rat Zero. Kind of looks like a landing strip. I know Rock Rat likes airplane and space and flying references. Thank you, Rock Rat Zero, for this amazing classic Sudoku. I'll reveal the optimal order solving hard Sudoku like this so you can quickly find the required strategies, in particular how to get and solve this green cell. Step number 1, I'll teach you right now, is to find the restrictions in the puzzle. Let's look in block 4. You have a 1 cutting across row 4, and we solved the 1 in row 6. There's only 2 possibilities for a 1 in block 4. So I'm going to mark that using Snyder notation. Anytime in a 3x3 block, you have 2 possibilities for a can't, you mark it. In case we solve one of these cells, you can solve the other right away. And it tells us where the restrictions are in the puzzle. All right, and look for a 2. With these 2's right here in columns 8 and 9, you can actually solve for 2 in block 6. And then this 2 and these 2's in columns 1 and 2, you can solve for 2 here in block 4. And you'll notice with these 2's, you now have only 2 possibilities for 2 in block 5. But let's stay in block 5. You notice most of the digits are kind of going right through block 1, 5, and 9. You might notice you have these 2 7's in rows 5 and 6. So the only place to put a 7 is right there. And then with these 2 4's, you can put a 4 right here. And it leads me up to my second step. All right, first step is find the restrictions when using Snyder notation. Your second step is to identify Sudoku pairs. So this 2 3 is a naked pair. And why it's a naked pair is because the 2 and 3 are the only 2 digits that can go in these 2 cells. And so it's a naked pair for block 5. It's also now a naked pair for row 5. And so those are called lock candidates when they satisfy 2 different houses, a block and also a row or a column. All right, and so you want to start looking for that, looking for more than 1 digit at a time. And we're going to keep looking for these restrictions and also for these pairs where we can find it. And I cover naked pairs along with the other pairs we're looking for, pointing, claiming, and hidden pairs in my Sudoku solving guide. You can download it for free in the pinned comment below. Look at the 4's now. All right, with the 4's, this 4 cutting across row 2, 4's are now a pointing pair. And so what's the difference here is with the pointing pair, it's a single candidate strategy, but the 4's are now restricted in column 2 here in block 1. It means a 4 cannot be anywhere else along the column outside that block. If you put a 4 in any of these spots, you have no place to put a 4 in block 1. So you want to find those pointing pairs, kind of like how we found that naked pair. And what it does in this puzzle is it allows you to look for some more pointing pairs like you have down here. And then with the 4's, those can't be 4's anymore. And this 4 cutting across, we actually have another pointing pair. So this is a pointing pair. These are a pointing pair. And then with this 4, you now can put Snyder 4's in block 3. Okay, move on to the 5's. With this 5 and this 5, we have Snyder 5's in block 2. Nothing else with the 5's. With the 6, we can make a solve. If you have these 2 6's and this 6, you can solve for 6 right here. Put Snyder 6's in block 7. And then in block 6, with this 6 and this 6, you actually have a pointing pair of 6's going up. And then with that 6, you can put Snyder 6's in block 3. Okay, let's look at the 7's now. The 7 cutting down creates a pointing pair of 7's. And you find all these restrictions because you're eliminating digits from cells now. You know, this can no longer be a 7, and this can no longer be a 7. And what happens here is with these 2 7's, and now this can't be a 7 because the pointing pair of 7, you can solve for a 7 in block 7. And then with the 7 and this pointing pair of 7's and this 7 right here, we have Snyder 7's in block 8. All right, moving on, getting close to our third step. Let's check out the 8s first, though. With this 8 and this 8, Snyder 8s in block 3. And then with this 8 and this 8, Snyder 8s in block 9. How about those 9s? This 9 and this 9, only 2 possibilities for a 9. We can put Snyder 9s in block 4. And now up to step 3 here. And so we've looked for the restrictions with Snyder notation. You start to look for pairs now, and it's not quite a linear progression. Whenever you get a solve and you find new restrictions, you have to kind of go back to steps 1 and 2. But step 3 here is when you get to this point, and we've covered every digit 1 through 9, you want to go back when you have made some solves using Snyder notation. Since we've marked some of these digits like these 7s and 4s and 2s, you want to go back. I bet there's some more restrictions we can find. So that's step 3. Go back through the marking. All right, start here with these 1s. You got this one cutting across and this one coming down, column 4. So you actually have a pointing pair of 1s here in block 8, which is now going to restrict the 1s to these 2 cells in block 7. So this green cell could possibly be a 1. We'll see. And then with the 3s, you have this 3 coming down, column 3, and this 3 cutting across row 9. So there's 2 possibilities for a 3. So this green cell could possibly be a 3 as well. Awesome. All right, and with the 4s, this 4 cutting across, and these pointing pair of 4s in block 1, you actually have another pointing pair of 4s here in block 7. Hopefully you see that. 4 couldn't be here because of the pointing pair up there. And now 4 can't be here either. And because of this 4, you actually have 4s here in block 4. And this is going to lead up to my 4th step. And this might be one of the hardest steps to master. We still have a few more. We're working through the progression to solve to get that main strategy for this green cell. And the 4th step is probably the hardest step to master because it relies on your ability to dig a little bit deeper and notice restrictions affecting multiple cells. We've done all the Snyder notation we can. We still haven't done a solve. Not quite time for an advanced strategy. Instead, you want to look at restrictions involving multiple cells. So notice this 3-9 cuts up column 7. You also have a 3-9 cutting across row 1. So where can a 3-9 go here in this other column, column 8, right? It can't go here or here because of this 3-9. It can't go here because of this 9 and the pointing pair of 3s. This 2-3 naked pair acts as a pointing pair as well. Could go there, but it can't go here because of this 3-9. And so whenever you have 2 candidates restricted to the same 2 cells in a house, in this case column 8, that forms a hidden pair. So the 3-9 can only be in these 2 cells in this column, and they can't be anywhere else. You can remove any other candidate from these 2 cells. And before I move on and see what this solve did for us and how to get to our 5th step, I want to hear from you. Did you spot this 3-9 hidden pair? Please, please, please put in the comments. Help me grow the best Sudoku community on YouTube. It starts with your feedback. I respond to each comment. I want to know if you found this. Share what else you found in the comments with the other viewers. What this does, since that 6 is a Snyder 6 and it's not one of the 3 or the 9, we can just place that Snyder 6 and solve this cell now for a 6. Okay, and then with these 2 6s, you can put Snyder 6s right there. And so now we're going to be able to make a few more solves, but we're not quite to the step where we need the advanced strategy yet. And now, because of this 3-9 right here, I'll remove those from the colors. We are going to be able to solve a 6 up here in block 1. This is a nice little bonus trick here. You'll notice that you have a 6s in columns 1 and 3 here in block 7. And then now the 6s are in columns 1 and 3 here in block 4. When you ever see this situation, this is called a mini X-wing, some people call it. Basically, the 6 has to be here and here, or here and here for blocks 4 and 7. And so the 6 cannot be in any of these spots in block 1 anymore, right? Because the only place the 6 can be now in column 2 has to be up here in block 1. And since this 6 already covers that cell, you found a hidden single 6. And we never find these mini X-wings. which can also lead to claiming pairs and claiming triples. You want to be able to make a solve there. And that 6 displaced that Snyder 4. Beautiful stuff. And now with this 4, you can displace that Snyder 4, solve this cell for 4, displacing that Snyder 6. Okay, so we made some solves there by finding and using those Snyder notation marks. All right, and by adding these 4s and the 6, now you have a 1, 5 naked pair, which we want to add, and the naked pair acts as a pointing pair, so now the 1s can't be here anymore. And with this one and this one, you can solve for a 1 in block 2. Displacing the Snyder 1, you can solve for 1 here in block 8. Okay, and now you might notice that with these 2s, you have Snyder 2s here in block 8. And whenever you see this situation, another bonus tip for you, I call it Snyder on top of each other, you have found another hidden pair because the 2 and the 7 are restricted to the same 2 cells in block 8. Nothing else can be there. You can remove the marks and show that as a hidden pair. And what does that do for us? Well, it creates another mini X-Wing because you have the 2s in these 2 cells in block 8. You have 2s in these 2 cells in block 5. And so where can a 2 be up here in block 2? It has to be in the middle column. Since you have a 6 there and the 2 already covers this digit, you have a nice hidden single 2 right there in block 2. Nice. All right. And so we'll remove these marks and we're getting up to our 5th step here, getting really close to that. But we can make a couple solves first. You notice we have 6 digits filled out in row 1. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. We just need a 5, 7, and an 8. We have a 5 and 8 here in column 6. That has to be your 7. Now I'm going to mark this 5, 8 naked pair in row 1. And this is part of the 5th step. At this point, when you're getting closer and closer to needing advanced strategies, you want to start marking by value cells. I call them BVCs because they only have 2 candidates in them, so by value, and triples when you can find them as well. This is going to help us with finding what I call one-step restrictions. You're getting really close to starting to break a few of these cells by doing this. And so this is a time in the 5th step to start looking for that. Okay, now we did, let's look down here in block 8. You have this 2, 7 here. You saw this for a 7, so that's got to be a 2, and that's got to be a 7. So what's left in here is a 3, 8, and a 9. You might notice you have a 9 in column 5, a 9 in row 7, so this has got to be your 9, and this is going to be a 3, 8 naked pair. So I'm going to start adding those by value cells. And now with this 2, you can solve, disambiguate the 3, 2 here in block 5. Okay, after you do that, we can do a couple more marks here with these 9s. Snyder 9s in block 7 because you want to keep finding those restrictions. And then in block 2, with these 2 9s, you can solve for 9 here. And this is going to create a 3, 8 right there and a 3, 5 right here. So we have a 3, 5, 8 naked triple in the block and in column 4, 3, 8 naked pair right here. We're getting a lot of by value cells, which means we're getting close to an advanced strategy. And we're about to get to that step 6 where I show you how to find the advanced strategy. Before I do that, we want to check out where the 5s can go here in block 6. Because of this 5 cutting across, you have a pointing pair of 5s straight to the column 9 in block 6. And so now a 5 can't be there, and you got this 5, so the 5s are right here. And whenever you see this situation, you notice there's 4 different sets of Snyder marks, and they're all in different cells. You actually found 4 by value cells. This can only be the 4 or the 5. This can only be the 5 or 7. This can only be the 4 or the 8. This can only be the 7 or the 8. And you can check all that out, and you'll see that I am right. And that's kind of a neat little pattern whenever you find that. All right, and now it's time to find the proven strategy. And this is my step number 6. We're going to be able to solve this green cell, but we're not done with the puzzle. I still got another step for you. It's very important, and it will reduce your solve time the most. So this step, step 6, is the one that gets you to the critical step in the puzzle. You want to look for advanced strategies. And you want to start in houses, row, columns, and blocks that have a lot of restrictions. So notice here in column 2, we have 5 digits filled out: 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. We need a 1, 3, 5, and a 9. Well, this cell can only be a 1 or a 5. This can be a 3, 5, or a 9. This can only be a 1 or a 3, our green cell, because of this 5, 9. And because this 1, 3, this can only be a 5 or a 9. So we just added some bi-value cells. We're getting close. Now, if we could link some of these bi-value cells in this column to another bi-value cell, we would have them making them an advanced strategy. They normally require more than, like 3 or more bi-value cells. Well, if you notice here in row 6, we have 6 cells filled out as well. This can only be a 3, 5, 9. And since you have a 9 in column 1, this is going to be a 3 or a 5. We found another bi-value cell. So check this out. You have a 1, 5 right there. You have a 1, 3 right here. And you have a 3, 5 right there. So you have all 3 paired possibilities of the digits 1, 3, and 5. One of the cells of 1, 5 sees the other 2. And you'll notice that if this is a 1, this cell would have to be a 3, right? Because that's a 1, that can't be a 1 anymore, that's a 3. If this is a 5, that cell would have to be a 3. All right, hopefully you're seeing what I'm talking about here. So no matter what the value of the orange cell is, one of these blue cells has to be a 3. We have found ourselves an advanced strategy. And this advanced strategy is going to allow you to remove a 3 from right here and the Snyder 3 from right there, because this is a Sudoku XY wing. In an XY wing, you can remove 3 from any cell that sees the 2 blue ones. And since you remove the Snyder mark, you know you can solve the other candidate for a 3 in that block. In this case, it's called cannibalizing because we're going to solve one of the cells of the XY wing. If you want to learn more about XY wings, you can check out this tutorial. So that's step 6. We found an advanced strategy. And now you're going to look and see what that does. And I'll show you what our step 7 is, the one that's going to save you the most time as we move forward in this puzzle. With this 3, now you can solve this for an 8 and solve that for a 3. And you want to keep following these 3s. These 2 3s, this has to be a 3. That's an 8. And that's a 5. Okay, and these 2 3s, you can solve for a 3 right here. And you can solve for 3 in block 6. And we solved all of the 3s now. Now with this 8, you notice you can solve for 4 here, 5 there, 7 there, and an 8 right there. Okay, and then with these 2 8s, you can solve for an 8 up here. And we've now solved all of the 8s. And so what we're doing now, this is step 7, is you're cleaning up the grid. So you're going to keep on cleaning up all these marks that we made. So this is 3. Now that has to be a 9. And we're going to keep on cleaning up. You look across row 7. That 4, okay, it can't be a 4 anymore. So you're going to solve this for 4, displacing that Snyder 9. Allows to solve this cell now for a 5. Now you solve this for a 1. Okay, and you notice that we've displaced the Snyder 1, so you can solve that for a 1. And you just have a 6 and a 5 in these 2 cells. Can't solve that yet, but we're going to keep on looking for more solves, because this 1 means you can solve for 5 here and a 1 there. And so we can get rid of that 1, and we're going to keep on solving. With this 5, that means you can solve this cell for a 3. All right, what else can we do? 3 and a 5 means this cell now has to be a 9, displacing that Snyder 5, displacing that Snyder 4. We have 2 full houses in columns 9 and column 7. So we're going to be able to solve both these cells with certainty. One's a 5 and one's a 7. I'm going to go down, pull that 5 from right there. Now that has to be my 5, and that has to be our 7. All right, getting close. We've displaced the Snyder 9 in here, right? Because I only see one 9. So I know I can solve that cell for a 9, displacing the Snyder 6, displacing that Snyder 4. We can displace the Snyder 6 here because we just solved the 6. Solve this cell for a 6, and our last digit is a 5. Now see if you can use the optimal order of solving on this next puzzle by Rockrat Zero. Thank you so much for watching.